Good morning, everyone,
Hey.
or afternoon, or evening, wherever you're watching from. My name is Nicholas Giberson with Reuzel Education. Today is Monday, September 26th.
And Nick, I can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
There she is.
Hey.
Ladies, everybody watching live from Providence, Rhode Island. Today we got Stephanie Buckley, Scumbassador. Take it away, Steph.
Thanks, Nick. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Facebook Live on Monday afternoon. Yeah, I couldn't hear for a second, so I didn't really know what was going on. I was like, there's Nick. But you're there, and we're here. So thanks for joining in. Today I have a dear friend and dear patron, David. You can see this good head of hair we've got to work with. And David's got it's really long right now because actually the last time we actually left it a little bit longer because he's got this beautiful texture, all this curl. But he has a love-hate relationship with his hair, right? So he's ready to get rid of it, actually. So it said, what a perfect model to use today, because now I can actually go through and, we'll take it down a little bit. Maybe we'll actually end up going a little shorter afterwards. But I've got a good head of hair to work with, and today I'm going to show you guys a little bit of our boogie haircut, okay, which is a side part, really asymmetrical baseline, a little bit shorter on one side than the other. And I'll probably take it down pretty tight. Maybe skin fade, or we're going to maybe leave a little bit more, pretty close to it, nice clean taper, right? But first thing first, what I want to do is I'm going to wet down his hair. And I don't want to see it soaking wet, but I want it nice and saturated because water is going to help mimic what product will do, right? So it'll give me a little bit more control. I'll be able to see how I can move the hair. And really what I want to do is actually look for the haircut within the hair. Okay, so now, it is longer, so it does have a little more of a drag. So I can manipulate it a little more. So I know when it does get shorter, it might start going in different places, but I can see things where he's got a pretty strong little cowlick on his hairline in a couple of spots, but I can see that part right here wanting to come in. So that's where I'm actually going to start and create my boogie from. Okay. That's where the end all part's going to be. Okay. So I don't want them saturated and dripping, just enough saturation to keep it evenly wet down. All right, so this I am going to actually do a little clipper over comb today. And the first thing with all of our Reuzel haircuts, what we're going to do is put in that baseline, right? So the baseline is very important. Just like in a band, the baseline is kind of what brings everything together, right? It keeps together the drums, which is kind of like the foundation, and the guitar and all the rhythm. So if you kind of break down a haircut, that way we're creating that baseline, which is going to give us balance and symmetry to build that foundation up to. And then all that fun hair and rhythm up top is going to connect down to it. So that baseline is going to keep us all together, okay? So I have where I want my part to be with the boogie. Okay, and like I said, this is asymmetrical. So over here on this side, we're going to actually come up a little bit. Where I would traditionally start on the right side, because that's my dominant side, but I'm going to start on the left side, just because this is going to be more square. This is where I'm going to be directing all of this hair to. I'll bring him over here to you. Yeah, I give props to Amanda over here helping me out, being the camera girl today. So I'm going to create my first section right here from the recession, right above that parietal, and I'm going to follow the round of his head. Okay, this is where head shape's going to actually be a key part in this, right? Because I want to follow and really accent his head shape. Okay, so I got that nice straight line from the recession about center back. So I'm going to start right on the side. I want to keep this side nice and square and balanced. So I'm going to start over the ear and create my baseline. Okay. I'll get a little light here. There we go. Oh yeah, that's good. So now I'm starting over the ear because this is the squarest part of the head. Okay, and we're working with classic cuts, masculine shapes. We like that nice, lean, strong shape. And that's when I want to create that nice squareness on the side of the head. And we got a round palate over here, right? So this is going to keep me nice and square. So I start above the ear, work to the front hairline, and then I'm going to continue back. Okay, I always have my guide. You see those crazy curls? Fighting back. That's what David actually plays soccer, so, and is a coach. So that's one of his big problems right now is the curls have been driving him crazy. Okay, so I created my baseline, and you can see that right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up to my baseline. So I'm building that foundation, and whether or not, like how strong of a taper I want that to be, if I want to go really tight, if I want to keep it a little longer, you know, some different haircuts like our long trim pomp or so, maybe something with fenders, we would leave that a little longer. So the angle of my comb right now dictates my cutting angle. So if I wanted to keep more length, it would be more square. But I want to build up that weight to that baseline, and I want to make a nice taper. So my comb is going to be a little more diagonal. Okay? Nice and pretty close. Bring that right in. And so you can see when I put my comb in there, this is my starting point and this is my guide. Right? So I can bring that right up and connect it. And I know this is going down to about a 1 right now because that's what the equivalent to a clipper comb is. Right? I have my blades closed, full tension. I'm bringing that right up, and we're going to go back just past center back a little bit where I created that baseline. Hey, Nick, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. All right, because I made a funny beeping noise over here, so I just wanted to make sure we were still connected.
Yes, still connected.
Gotcha. Okay. So now I created that baseline over there on the other side. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to wet it down again a little bit more. And I've got my Reuzel hair tonic in the water. Right? Nice and blue. To break down any product that's existing in there. Just kind of help the hair. So this is going to be asymmetrical. So this is where his part's going to be for when I style it for the boogie. But I still want to create that baseline. Okay, so I'm still going to come down, make my primary parting a little bit lower from the recession. Okay, bringing that right back again to the head shape from recession. Nice straight line, even though it looks like it's a rounded line, I have a nice straight line on a rounded surface. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and make my baseline. But I'm not going to be making this side square because it's asymmetric. So this is going to be coming up, but I'm going to still start right about here. And working right back. Following that head shape. I say, I just got these combs not that long ago, and I love the color on dark hair. I mean, I can see where I'm going so well. You know, and that's another thing too, right? The importance of our tools and the different colors. I mean, his hair is so dark. It could totally hide a lot of what I'm seeing just because of that depth, right? Because a big thing with fading is a lot of the depth and shadows. So it just allows me to see a little more. So I'm going to come back to the front again. And this side's going to see it's a little bit higher. And I'm bringing that right down. Move his ear out of the way. The cool thing with the comb, like I can put it in there, different angles, and lift up the hair. And blend that right into the beard. If I have a little time afterwards, I'll show you guys a little beard shape up too, because we know he needs one. All right. And then even in the neck and area, I'm just bringing it down. You know, I'll go through afterwards and really tighten everything up, but this is all part of our sketch, right? Because right now, I'm just going through and really putting in that sketch of the shape, building our foundation. And then what we're going to do is take our transition and work up to the top of the head with all that fun, cool hair. Okay, so now I just created a baseline on both sides and brought built up to my baseline. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to work on my transition from the sides and the bottom to the top. Okay, so, you know, a little while back we switched things up a little bit. So I'm going to talk about our sectioning. And now that part is going to come back into play again, because that's actually going to determine where my parting is going to go up here. Okay. All right, so we can see that's where the part's going to be. It's going right back to the crown. Get over there, little guy. Okay, and I'm going to section this out, and I'm going to create 6 sections up here. It's actually only going to be about 5 with the boogie. Okay, I'm going to come right up here from like the apex to the mastoid, and that's going to create the crown. Okay, on both sides. So I'll comb that right back. And you can see I got 2 crown sections. Okay. And it does come down a little lower, so this is like my little security blanket, right? So we all know things can get a little crazy behind the crown where the whirl is and all that fun stuff. So this keeping all this length from me now is gonna, you know, something I could gauge by how his hair is gonna react to being shorter. And I cannot take it too short, so, okay. Next section over here is called our transition. And then we have the front, okay? Same thing on the other side. You see the transition. I'm sorry, the corner is not, this section is the corner. So the corner, you can see I don't go right from where I started the crown section. It's actually about like 1 inch in front of that. And that goes right up to that recession. Okay, so I'm keeping all this really important front hair up here in the front, right? Because this is kind of like the main shot, right? This is what everybody sees when we take the pictures, taking those selfies. Everybody's getting that front angle here. So I want to keep that front hair up here and safe. Okay? So I'm going to start on the right side. And now I have the crown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take parallel sections to my baseline. And I'm going to bring that hair down to my baseline. So you can see my little guide under there. And then just cut that hair. bringing it all down. Okay. And depending on the, the density of someone's hair is going to change how many sections you're doing. Between like 2 and 3. So I'm just bringing all this down. So how's everybody doing today? Where do we have everybody coming in from? We are in Little Rhodey, Rhode Island. And it's actually a pretty nice fall day today, huh? Sun's out, no rain. Okay, so now I got my crown. I'm gonna come to the corner and do the same thing. I don't have too much to cut over here because this is a parted side, so this is the asymmetrical side. But again, bringing that down to the baseline. You can see my guide. Let's bring all that down. Okay. I'm going to begin with this front section. I'm going to go parallel to it because this is going to be pretty short and come right up to that parting. Okay, connecting my front to the corner. Okay, so now I started that side. Now I'm going to go to the other side where we have a little more hair, a little more weight. I'm dancing around you. So again, starting in the corner and working my way back to the front. Yeah, I got you. You guys got any questions out there today? Are there any products, anything you'd like me to ask about or talk about? Maybe any suggestions?
No questions so far. As always, you do such a great, thorough job of explaining everything. They're just mesmerized by your work.
Oh, So maybe I should have you fill in the blanks. We can mime this out. I'll be silent over here and you can narrate for me.
We've worked together enough. I know what you're thinking.
I know. I know all the time. All the time. Plus it's so quiet. Nobody's here. Okay, so now I just got that crown. Got water dripping on it. Okay. And I'm going to go to my corner. Okay, you can see this side, the section's a little bigger. Got my baseline right there. Just make sure these, see what happens to curl? Curl has a mind of its own. Starts to dry up a little bit and it's making its way back. It's no, I want to be over here. Okay, so again, bringing that down.
Steph, we got a question.
Woo! What you got?
Coming from Martin Carlson, watching on YouTube. Thanks for watching, Martin. What would you say the best Reuzel product for wavy hair is? He said he tried the green one, but didn't quite work for him. So what would you suggest? Nice.
One of my go-to Reuzel products for wave and curl is the red. So it's a medium hold, water soluble It works really great. David's shaking his head because I've definitely given him the same. You put it in the hair when it's damp and it's actually going to dry like a gel, but as opposed to a gel, it's not going to have that crunchy finish to it. So if you did want to run your hands through it and break out the crust that it does make, it'll still be soft and hold its shape. So yes, Reuzel Red is my go-to for all my curls. Putting that on damp hair. Okay, so I'm just going to wet this back down again a little bit. You see the water has a mind of its own. It just keeps going with the misters. Okay, so now we get to the front. I'm going to start taking my sections parallel to the hairline. Okay, and I have my corner right here. That's my corner guide. Now, we want to keep that length in the front, right? So that's going to be the basis of our shape. We want to have that ramp up where it's shorter toward the crown, longer in the front. That's going to give us that nice shape. So this is all determined by what you want to do as far as the final look. Okay, I have my corner guide right there, and then my finger angle is what's going to determine it. So you can see I'm just kind of swinging my fingers out and cutting down to the front. Okay, so you still have that weight and length in the front. And I'm bringing this all over right down to my guide. Last section. Not too much to cut. And there we go. Okay, so that now is building up my foundation and my transition to the top hair. Okay, but we're not done yet. The last thing I want to do is establish length. So on top, because we're working with the longer side, so over by the, I'm going to leave the hair on the right short side of the part down. But then I'm going to take a profile section. It's about 2 to 3 inches, depending on head shape. Okay, and I'm going to work from the crown to the front. Okay, so I have my front hair here, my crown here. You can see it's pretty even. So what I'm going to do is go through and I'm going to cut that at an angle so it's a little bit shorter in the crown. Okay. And this is just my sketch, like I said before, right? So I'm just putting in that rough shape right now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go through and dry his hair. And then that's going to allow me to see exactly what his hair is going to do, how it's going to respond as far as, you know, the curl, the wave, any cowlicks and all that stuff. You know, because wet hair, again, like when we have it wet down, that's what we're going to be able to do and manipulate it with product. So wet hair kind of lies. Dry hair is giving me what his hair is naturally going to do. And that's when I can go through too and kind of take out some of the weight in the back. Okay. So let's go through first. I got a little of our spray grooming tonic. Okay, this is just like our traditional grooming tonic. It is a little bit lighter. It's about 30% lighter. And you can spray it. It smells so good, right? Okay, and I'm gonna go through and dry his hair using a vent brush and the blow dryer with the nozzle. All right, first things first, when I usually am blow drying it, I like to kind of hit, especially when there's a part, I'm gonna hit the area that has a part first, just so it kind of sets in a little bit, and then I'll hit the front hairline a little, just so any of those growth patterns aren't gonna be in there. I'm gonna set in where I want the hair to go, okay? So just a little bit, maybe like 70% dry for that first little half inch or so at the root. Okay, because that's just gonna help dictate where I want the hair to go and not any natural growth patterns in there. Okay, now otherwise I'm gonna just hit the sides real quick, and then I'm gonna start in the back. Okay, working from the back to the front. And just wrapping that hair, following the head shape. And I don't want much volume back here, so I'm just keeping it pretty close to the head. Got that nice thick hair. Kind of move it around a little bit to let some air get in there and really dry it. And I'm not trying to straighten his hair and get out all of the wave. I do want to keep some of that wave in there. I'm just kind of putting it in the direction I want it to go. Okay, so if I did want to, I could use a little more tension to it to kind of take that wave out.
Steph, we lost you. Are you there?
Hold on one second. Oh. Yeah.
All right, I got you back. We lost you for a second.
Woo. I could hear you, but I couldn't see you. I don't know what happened. The Wi-Fi. We've been having a lot of utility work around the neighborhood where the shop is, and it's been crazy. One day we came in, we had no electricity until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. A week later, we had no water. So I apologize. That might be what that was. Still just working up, directing the hair back. Again, too, if I wanted to make his hair a little straighter, I could use a regular traditional Denman. Those bristles are hard rubber, so when you do start to use them and they heat up, it has a little more grip, so I could get a little more tension with the brush, and that would actually help smooth his hair out a little bit more. So now as I get to the halfway point, I want to start getting a little more volume up here. Okay, so I'm going to go through with my brush and just kind of like slide it down and turn. And you can see now I'm getting that lift. Go and slide it down and turn and get that lift at the root. Get some nice volume going on here, right? You want some high hair? The higher the hair, the closer to God, as Dolly Parton says. Okay, so again, just getting some nice lift with the root. I'm gonna go through with my hand. So I can feel the hair. You know, sometimes it looks like it's dry, and then we're like, oh no. Especially dark hair, to put that nice natural shine to it. But if light hair folk have to try so hard to get that shine. Alright. Things are looking pretty good now. Alright, so now I'm going to go through and actually go through and texturize, take some bulk out in some places, you know, really see the hair now, right? I put in that sketch, and now I'm going to go through and put in all those details. I can see where the heavyweightness, yeah.
Oh, just want to let you know where everybody's watching from today. We've got viewers from Chile, Brazil, the US of A, Guatemala, France, Canada, Peru. So worldwide audience this morning on a Monday.
Awesome.
Wanted to give you the heads up.
That's amazing. Well, thank you guys for logging in and hanging out with us today. It's amazing how many people we can reach and how far, all from being in one little place.
And we've got a question.
What is that?
What is the best Reuzel tonic for removing pomade?
For removing pomade. So the hair tonic is what you'd want to use. It's not going to remove it, but it's going to help, especially with our greases and stuff. If you use a grease, so, you know, you don't want to wash all that grease out of your hair, because one of the benefits of it is kind of building up that product, right? So it just kind of helps reconstitute it, and it does help break down the products and stuff a little bit. So it's an awesome tool to use. That's what we all do. Scumbassadors, we put probably like a 70-30, 80-20 ratio of water to hair tonic in the bottles. So that way you can actually break down a little of the product, and it's a little easier to comb through that hair. Especially for places too that, you know, you might not shampoo your patrons. So it just helps make it a little more manageable. Where our grooming tonic, those are really great for conditioning, volume, a very light hold. We use those, that pretty much all of blow dries. Okay. I hope that answered the question. So I'm going in right now and I'm using my Mizutani blenders. Okay, these are the Reuzel, Scorum, ones that Robin Lane actually designed with them with barbering in mind. These are really amazing. They're designed specifically for scissor over comb, for barbering, right? Because we're working up the head. You can see the blades are actually reversed. So typically the straight blade would be on the top and the teeth would be on the bottom. But the straight blade's on top, and it does have a convex shape to it. So that way when you're going up, it's actually keeping the hair into the teeth. And they're pretty aggressive. They do cut like a good 50-50, so you can definitely take a lot of hair out with these. I apologize for sniffling it all today because my allergies have been crazy the last few days. Okay, so I'm just going up and taking that weight out, and you can see how it's just flowing, right? A little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the crown. Bring this hair up. Point cutting. Now his hair's very thick, so going in and just making a little space in between is just allowing space for the hair to move, right? And I'm keeping it just in like the top third of the hair. I'm not going too far in. You know, if I took my blenders all the way down, I would just collapse that shape. Let's see if I got that nice buildup of weight, longer to the front. You can see it all just kind of moving a little more. Okay. Like I said, I do want to take the sides down a little bit shorter. Clean all that up. Let's see. You can see his hair just has a really cool shape. I'm really digging how his wave pattern's going. It looks very kind of vintage and classic. So cool. All right. So I'm going to go through real quick, and I'm going to taper a little more. So you want to go down to skin?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to give you guys a little more on the sides. I'd like to just go in real quick, just kind of frame everything in. And I'm going to taper him down to skin in some areas. So I'm going to start right at the sideburn. And what I'm going to do is actually kind of create like a little baseline right here. All right. Kind of all of our methods, how we can kind of use them in all different situations. Get those little straggler hairs. I'm going to get some balance. I'm going to bring this up too. Okay, so you guys, we have a show coming up. Premiere Ohio, right? Is it Columbus, Nick?
Yes, Premiere Columbus this weekend, October 1st through the 3rd.
So we need some models out there. If you guys are out there, you hear or know anybody in that area, please spread the word. You get an amazing haircut from one of our Scumbassadors. And get some swag. All right. So now I just went with skin with my trimmer, taking that right down. And then I'm just going to go through a little bit, just kind of taper that out. This is a 1. So we do have a skin fading technique that we use. It's like a 1, 2, 3, open, half, close. Okay, so now I just went through with the 1, and that's fully closed right now. Now I'm going to go back through half. And I'm just going to bring that up a little bit. And then I'm going to fully open that and bring this up a little bit higher. Okay. I was with the 1. And then I'm going to go through with the half. Again, same thing. Close. Bringing that up a little bit. You just see you get that really nice blend. Half. Fully open. Let's see, so it gets a real nice taper and a nice blend. Okay, so I'm going to do on the other side, same thing with the 1. You know, there's 100 different ways that we could definitely go through and fade hair, right? Some people like to work from the top down. You know, just like any way cutting hair, there's a million different ways we could get there. You know, so this isn't the end all be all, but this is our way. And this is what we like to share, you know. So as long as you guys get like a little nugget, a little something out of it, that makes my day complete, knowing that, you know, I'm sharing a little bit of knowledge. You know, even when I'm teaching these classes and stuff or going to different places and working with everybody, there's always something that you pick up is like new, you know, so there's always fresh little ways that you can learn to put in your toolbox. Okay, so now I got the half again, fully closed. Bring that back up. Halfway. All the way open. You know, it seems like there's a lot of steps, but there's really not. And then really, like, it's very quick, you know, when we're actually doing it, as opposed to when we're slowing it down so you can see what's happening while I'm presenting this to you. Okay, so again, on the back, I have my 1.
Hey, Steph.
Yes.
While you were doing some detail work, I asked about what kind of Reuzel products people would like to see on the Scumbag Boogie, and we've had some recommendations of red, some green. People want to see the greases, so pick whatever you
I
choose.
want to see the grease, huh?
Green specifically.
Okay. Green specifically? All right.
Yeah, maybe some
That's
cocktail
actually one of my favorite products. Yeah, we can use a little cocktail. That's like actually one of my favorite cocktails in general, to use the green. You know, greases, a lot of times people are afraid to use them. But they're amazing, honestly. And there's so many little tricks to them to adapt to things. For instance, if you do cocktail with them, which I often use in my own hair. I'll actually use the white clay because this has got some nice grit to it. It's very dry, very matte, but it gives some nice volume and texture. But sometimes, like I said before, you know, the dark hair has that nice natural shine from the beginning. My hair being so light, I gotta add a little love to make it shine. So the greases have a really nice sheen to them. And I'll actually use the grease over the clay afterwards to give myself a little separation and a little sheen to it. And the cool thing about that is now, because I layered it over a water-soluble product, that is now going to be a water-soluble grease. It's going to wash out of the hair a lot easier than if you just traditionally use the grease alone. So that's a cool little step right there for you. You know, we do use it often in the shop. You know, I have a salon barbershop, so we also do long hair. And it is a great product to even use on long hair as far as like braids or updos and stuff like that. Even on my blow dries afterwards. I know we're talking about men's hair and stuff, and I'm just giving you little options of things that you can use it for. You know, after you do a blow dry and you got those little flyaways, instead of using an oil, which sometimes doesn't have enough weight to it, using a little bit of grease on your hands is going to help kind of hide those. So I use that after a blow dry. And that just goes to show you how versatile our products are. All different types of hair and genders. Let's see. Okay, so see, I'm just going through again. You know, now, especially when you're in the nape area, hair can get really crazy, right? We've got all different little growth patterns. A lot of times those little baby hairs, so you can see like his hair is kind of growing up over this way and down over here. So that's why going back through, just using the corner of my blade to kind of go through and like point cut and take a little bit of that weight out. Because it's all about the shadows when we get really this low, okay? But that way I can also evenly get everything nice and blended. Okay, so this is just a little skin taper added to my boogie. Boogie, not booger. David actually heard me earlier and thought I said booger, but it's not, so. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go back through now. You know, these are nice and zero gap. I always like to touch my arm before I touch somebody's skin with them. Sometimes you never know, you know, being around if your blades get off, like from being aligned. If somebody knocks into it or something, God forbid, at least it'll cut me and not them. So just kind of tap it on the inside of my arm. You don't need those little scratches. Okay. Have you ever used the grease on you before?
No, this.
I don't know. I'm gonna get greased up today. All right, so just went through, tighten up the lines a little bit. I'm gonna use a foil shaver just to really crisp it all up. You know, it's a good alternative to a straight razor. Not everybody can use one. You know, so there are a lot of little things that we can use. These foil shavers are pretty great. They get nice and close. Anything to help use it to kind of get that blend a little more too. Like I'll go through and just kind of bounce. So it's not taking it all the way out, but it just kind of blends and softens any shadows. How are we for time right now, Nick?
We're closing in on the last 10 minutes. We're getting there.
Okay. So that now is a boogie with a nice little skin taper. You know, there's so many different variations of it. Of course, I could have brought the skin right up a little bit higher. I wanted to leave a little bit of a shadow. But it just kind of tucks everything in nice. So I'm actually going to use two products. So I'm going to actually cocktail a little bit. I'm going to use the Extreme Hold Matte Pomade just for a little bit of a base. Because I am going to use the green grease, which is an awesome product, but it is a medium hold. So I want a little more control with the curls. So these products, you want to work them in your hands, heat them up, so you can't even really see them, right? And what you want to do is work it all through that hair. And I'm going to use a little bit more. You know, you like to start with a little bit, less is more. Because if you have too much, sometimes then you're like, oh, shit, what am I going to do? Okay, so I've got a little more. The biggest thing with like the paste and stuff, you want to really work them down to that root. If you don't get it to the root and you just get it on the ends of the hair, it's just going to defeat the purpose of what we're doing. Because it's going to make it a lot heavier on the ends and you're not going to get any volume and control. Okay, so you have to work it all the way through. Okay. So that's just giving me a little control in at the root. And now I'm going to use the grease. Okay, I got a good little amount. Again, warm that up. Especially the pink, you really got to warm that up. That's our heavy hold grease. This is a little more pliable. Actually, the green has our nice palm fragrance, which is apples, because back in the day, when they started using and making pomades, they would make it out of pig lard. Hence our logo, right? And they would mix it with apples, so that way it didn't smell like grease. Okay, so now I'm going to use my pick to go through. So you can see that nice shine. It's got like a nice sheen to it. You know, if I use the red or the blue, are water soluble, they have a high shine to it. Okay, so our paste, clay, fibers, those have a pretty matte shine. Greases are like a sheen. The red and the blue is a high shine. I really love this little, I'm just kind of like working with it. You know, and the cool thing with the pick is I can go in and move the hair around to where I want it to go without disrupting other areas. So this is really key for a lot of our classic styles. Okay. Woo! So check out that boogie. Look at that shine, that grease.
That looks awesome, Steph.
Thank you. And
Lots
last but least,
lots of praises. Lots of praises.
nice. I just want to show you guys one more last thing, okay? I don't have time to do the whole beard trim, but I'm going to use a little bit of our mustache wax. So shout out to Curtis. Miss you, brother. This is our mustache wax. This stuff is serious. Okay. And that's what we made that, was it 2 years ago now? Because our fallen brother, Curtis, passed away and he had the stash. So he is forever part of Reuzel. Okay. So this stuff, you see, you got to work this in, but his mustache isn't going to move. Okay. Just pulling his lip around. I've been doing this for a while. I've known David, what, 17 years, I think I've been doing your hair now?
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
It's just a weepy little boy.
So, you know, get all up in there. In your grill. Okay. So you can see, using this product, it is a fantastic product, but you definitely have to work it. You know, it's kind of all about the stash now. I feel like mustaches are really
They're making a comeback.
making a comeback.
Oh my God, I love it.
And it just kind of like sets in the whole look, right? All right. So there you go, is David. And that is our Facebook Live this week. Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate it. And you hit me up any questions you ever have. You can follow me on Instagram at Steph Society. Or Reuzel, tag us in anything. We'd love to share everybody's work and stuff. So I hope you guys have a great Monday.
All right, that's it. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today at Reuzel Live. As Stephanie mentioned, I am and we are looking for models for Premier Columbus this weekend in Columbus, Ohio. If you think you got what it takes, email me at nicholas@reuzel.com if you want to be a model. And
Get
two
that
more
haircut.
Two more things. You can pre-order Roach now on Reuzel.com, and orders start
Oh,
shipping
yeah.
October 31st. And last but not least, tune in next week with us, October 3rd, for Scumbassador Taylor Hernandez. We will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Don't want to miss that. Check him out.
Have a great week. All right. Take it easy, everyone. See you next time.
Bye.